Oh my God, this is nerve-wracking. Hello, I'm Jess, and this is episode 1 of Growing Pains, because growing older and wiser is hard fucking work. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking this link. I don't know why you have, but I'm thrilled to have you. This podcast is all about the pain of growth, but the ultimate joy of growth, because no pain, no gain. I can't lie to you, and we'll get into this a little bit later. I've had more growing pains than most. I have had so much growth to do in this life, and fuck me, the fact that I'm still here is incredible. I think in order to get into this podcast, I need to tell you a little bit about me. I'm 30, and the last 12 months of my life have been nothing short of fucking monumental. I broke up with my longtime partner this time kind of last year. I moved to my own flat, which I'm in now. And since then, it's just been this real insane shift in my brain, the way I perceive the world, the way that I perceive other people. I've started making friends for the first time in a really long time. I am now the best friend I've ever been, because I have that ability. And I think anyone who has gone through dark times understands that the capacity for interpersonal relationships is like low, if at all, when you can't even get out of bed in the morning. So I've started doing all of that, which is wonderful. I've started going out. I've started going to busy places. Oh my God, never thought I'd do that. I started going to the supermarket. My ex-partner did not let me go to the supermarket because he feared that it would be too overwhelming for me. So there's been a lot of growth in the past year, but also, just to be honest, all my years, lots of growth, lots of really hard things to contest with. For work, though, this is not the most important part about me, but I trained as a journalist, was a journalist, hated being a journalist, made sort of the pivot to social media, which I'm doing now. I make silly little videos about things to do in London. But I suppose I've got this real fatigue, actually, of short-term little highs in the digital sphere. I'm really fed up of just scrolling and perhaps actually really connecting to a creator and really liking what they're posting or talking about, and then just never seeing them again and relying on an algorithm to bring me back up to date with that person. I suppose the reason I've started this is because I want to get into something a little bit chunky. Actually just, have a chat. Don't get me wrong, literally all of this will be going out on all of those platforms, and I think they're wonderful platforms, but I want to properly get to know other people, and I want other people to properly get to know me, because for a very, very long time, I have hidden myself away from society, friends, family, and I'm finally at this stage, and I don't want to get emotional already. We can't do that this early. But I'm finally in a position where I want to share my story, things that I've been through, but also listen to other people's stories and connect with amazing people. I want this to be a real space where we just chat about the difficulties of being a first-time adult, because it's all fucking hard and we're all living for the first time and we're doing our best. I have for the longest time wanted someone like me to be talking. I want to hear from someone who has had really fucked up thoughts. I want to hear from someone that's done fucked up things, and I kept waiting and it's not happening. So here I am. I am the representative of all things fucked up. And please, if you guys also relate to this, I really just want to hear from you. I want this to be like a real conversation, because it will make me feel better as well. Because there are some things I'm going to say in this podcast that, like, I'm actually shitting myself to tell people, because it's not good. This episode, I think we take it easy, because I'm finding my feet here. There's going to be a lot of cuts in this edit, because I keep going, what do I say? And my brain, I can hear it. It's saying, shut up, you're talking too much, that's boring, move on. It's saying all these really horrible things. And so I'm just trying to regulate that as I'm doing this. I come to you today for this episode feeling kind of equal parts frustrated, equal parts excited. And I think lots of people can relate to this. The world is on fire. Things are actually terrifying. We have essentially a dictator in charge of the free world. We have a Labour government that, can anyone know anything that they've done of positive? I don't know. What are they doing? We have a emergency of violence against women, a national emergency in the UK. We're going to be talking about violence against women at some point in this podcast as well, because I have had experience of that. Not good, not nice, but really want to talk about it because, again, not seeing that being spoken about that much. I also feel extremely frustrated because, you know, I've been working for the media, well, since I was 15, not obviously professionally since I was 15, that would be child labour. But actually what I did at 15 was probably what you constitute as child labour. We will talk about this in an episode because working for the media, they really do take the piss. They really do. But yes, I've been working for the media in some capacity since I was 15 years old. I've always been exceptionally ambitious. It was a coping mechanism, I think, to get me out of bad thoughts, bad environments. We'll talk about that again at an episode. And since that time, in that 15 years, I really, really thought I'd be further along than I am. So I'm feeling so stuck. The growing pains are real right now because I feel I'm growing quicker than my body, that's a metaphor, can. I'm not growing anymore. I finished growing when I was 13. Sorry, I'm really not comfy. I'm just going to arrange myself. Hold on. Oh my God, that's so much better. Oh, delightful. Where was I? Yes, feeling frustrated. I think there's also this thing that, like, companies used to really be loyal to their employees, and sort of the longer you were there, you would inevitably move up and there was really clear career progressions. But for me, I haven't really progressed for years. That's really fucking annoying, actually. I mean, this is another reason that I'm starting this podcast. It is to get myself doing something that actually is for me and feels right for me, something I can sink my teeth into. And I'm really, really excited to do this, even though this is really difficult for me. I've never had to speak in a monologue like this, except when I'm in therapy. And even in therapy, I still apologise every 5 minutes for talking too much. Another thing I really want to talk about at the moment, and it's been on my brain so much at the moment, and sorry that this is random, but I do have ADHD and my brain will literally fire like a fucking pinball in a machine. I want to talk about how the 20s are described as the best years of your life. Who made up this lie? I don't actually feel that I became an adult. Actually, to be fair, until I hit 30. 20 was just training grounds. I've spoken about this on my TikTok channel before. I truly believe our 20s, we really should just give grace to those 10 years and be like, it's training. I think we should try lots of things, but we should ultimately be nice to ourselves because it's all our first time at this adult thing and it's really fucking hard. We're going to talk about my 20s a lot. I refer to them as the dark ages because they really were fucking bleak. For anyone listening that's in their 20s and having a really hard time, it gets better. I promise you, the more you know yourself, the more growth spurts that you have, the better your life becomes. I think that's a really nice place actually to leave this episode of the podcast before I keep rambling. But I just wanted to say thank you so fucking much if you've made it this far. That is insane. I assume that you're probably one of my best friends because I can't imagine who else would still be here. But thank you. Next week, I really want to talk about relationships because I have been celibate for nearly a year now, and it was unplanned. I didn't actually genuinely expect this to happen. It's just happened, and I really want to hear about your growing pains being single. So by that I mean I want to hear about times that have been quite tough to be single but ultimately made you a better person, because I think the narrative so much in our society is get in a relationship, settle down, you know, that's kind of the goal. But actually, I'm certainly finding that being single is the best thing I have ever done. I honestly have not been happier than in this year that I've been single. Please send me your messages, your stories. You can do it anonymously. You can DM me. I'm on every single social media platform as Growing Pains with Jess, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to see you guys next time. I'm so excited I managed to get through it. I love you guys See you very, very soon.